Yep. What's up, guys? First session in the facility. This is where I work, this is where I train, and today's session is all about strength and conditioning for the surfer. So if you want to improve your in-water performance, if you're a surfer, this is the session for you. So let's get into it. Right, folks, before we get into the session, we have a special guest with us. We have a good friend of mine, Simon. Simon has his own YouTube channel, so I'm going to give him a cheeky hit for that. Check in the description below. But more importantly, Simon is a regular lifter and a seasoned surfer. So he's going to join me on the session today, and we're just going to go back and forth about the methods that we use. So thanks for coming on, Si. Right, folks, I think it's really, really important that you understand the structure of your session, and this will help with any content that you now see moving forward. Very, very simply, whether you can see it or not, because this pen's basically really rubbish, is I've split the workout into 4 sections. Warm up, your power / speed, strength, and then your extras and accessories. So warm up, yes, it's a critical part. Today we're not going to focus on it as much because it's just going to take so much time in the video. So look out for a specific video on warm-ups in the future, but there will be a little bit of footage of just some basic mobility that I've gone through. Then your next block after your warm-up is going to be your power and speed work. So this is where you get your biggest, most taxing movements of your session done. Surfing is a jump and a land sport. Okay, so it requires massive amounts of lower body explosiveness, as well as upper body kind of strength, power, and explosiveness as well. So at the start of your session, that is what you want to focus on. If you want to be hitting really sort of powerful, aggressive top turns, bottom turns, above the lip maneuvers and stuff like that, it's absolutely critical that you have a focus and a big focus on the power and speed element in your surf-specific strength and conditioning program. We'll come to that in a bit more detail later on. Then you'd move into your strength work. So that's the ability to basically get stronger. That's an absolute must for the power work. So basically strength is the underpinning factor, and then power is the expression of the strength that you've gained. So we always need a nice block of strength work. So that'll be traditionally upper body, lower body, push, pull, squat, hinge, the basics like that. And then at the end of the session, you're going to finish with your extras or your accessories. That's going to be maybe some key specific things for surfing. So it might be, you had a little bit of extra focus on the shoulders or the lower back, or some extra core work or something like that. So basically, this is a priority. This is an order of priority on how we set up for a surf-specific session. Let's get into it, folks. So I'm just getting into a quick warm-up, pre-surf kind of strength session. I think it's critical to say shoulders and hips getting mobilized are really, really key. So I'm just going through kind of 4 or 5 movements. I think what I will say is we will have a video on warm-ups in greater detail in the future. So for now, just choose 4 or 5 movements that you like, get the body moving, and then we'll have a more detailed version in the future.
And Sam, how long would you say typically for a warm-up? About 5 to 10 minutes?
Yeah, like perfect. That? Get some nice movements on.
Yeah. As long as you're feeling warm, your muscles are feeling warm, and you feel like you're not going to injure yourself, that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yeah, and you sort of start from the ground up, mobilise a couple of key areas like shoulders and hips.
Yeah.
Especially for surfers where shoulders and things like that are going to get battered from the amount of paddling. And then come to more dynamic movements, squats, lunges, inchworms like I've just done then. I'm just showing you a couple of reps each side of these movements, or an example of a couple of these movements.
Okay, another question for you, Sam.
Yeah, go for it.
Opinion on wearing trainers when you do stuff like squats and lunges and things like that. Like personally, I hate it, but I know you.
So folks, we've been through the warm-up part very, very briefly. We're now coming into the speedy power element of the workout, or the start of the workout. Yeah. So as I mentioned off camera for you, Si, earlier, and on camera for my one, the But surfing is now a jumping and landing sport, even for recreational surfers. Maneuvers above the lip and then heavy amounts of forces getting absorbed below the lip on landing. If you're not prepared for this from a lower body perspective, there's going to be some injury. So with that on potential for injury, with that in mind, we're going to start with a nice simple box jump. So an expression of power and force vertically, which for surfing, you're in that flex position, and then to that extended position a hell of a lot, especially as you get better, you're more reliant on compression extension, as you'll know. But also it teaches the ability to land. So 3 to 4 sets of 5 reps on the box jump is a really great place to start. Of course, it can be advanced, but we're looking for kind of best practice here and trying to hit all target kind of audiences. So box jump, perfect. Feet under the hips to take off, slightly wider land, trying to jump up and above the box, and then stepping off the box at the bottom. Okay. So do you want me to demo?
Yeah, I'll get out your way so you don't jump on me.
So feet under the hips, time the arms, little dip, big jump. See, I've landed in that nice high kind of athletic position. Extend, step back off. I'll go again. So I'm not just trying to jump up to the box, I'm actually trying to jump as high as I possibly can above the box. And then landing on the top, stepping back down.
And how many times would you do this?
So I'm going to go for my 5th rep, and then I'm going to recover. And I look for about 3 to 4 sets.
Okay. You go higher than this, or just typically stay on that?
So,
was that okay?
It's fine. Yeah, step it off. So with box jumps, there's a tendency, especially on YouTube, for pulling YouTube up here, but people to show off and try and jump super high. But what they actually lack, if they try and go too high, is they tuck the knees and lack the hip extension. So the ankle, knee, and the hip going fully extended. If we go with a more of a moderately sized box, where the aim is full extension and above, we often get a cleaner jump. I think there's merit for both versions in training, but for what we're looking at, we want to go with something which is challenging, but isn't pushing our jumping and landing mechanics.
Right. Any correction?
No, looks really good. Yeah, really happy with that. And as you get more competent and confident, you can. As long as technique stays like it has there for Sai, you can put that box height up. Cool. Movement side in the power element, people don't have loads of time, so I like to actually bounce things back to back, or like in a little kind of either 2 or 3 movements back to back in a circuit style format, just for time saving purposes more than anything, and boredom. So typically you could have 2 or 3. So we've looked at the box jump.
How many would we typically do on the box jump then?
So
3 sets?
3 sets, 5 reps.
Of 5 reps,
Okay. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the med ball slam. So power work wants to be done in lower rep ranges with maximal intensities. If we start pushing much above 5, although you may not feel it, you're going to start dampening those responses. Basically, your outputs are going to reduce, whether you like it or not. Especially if you're working at the right height, like we did in the box earlier. You've got that right height for you. 5 reps is ample, and we're getting that high, fast output.
Perfect.
So another lovely movement, at least for a staple in the middle, sort of the middle program for majority of people, is a medicine ball. Really easy to get hold of from a technical aspect, and it's force expression again, so ability to produce force fast. And we're still working through that flexion extension pattern. I talked about earlier for surfing, where we go from that compressed to extended. So I'm going to start with my feet under the hips. I'm going to get the med ball in hand. The key with the med ball, folks, is I'd always say this is one movement which doesn't need to be like strength work. We'd always try and get stronger. With a medicine ball, we don't want the ball to be too heavy. Speed and power is the key performing factor here. So it's not about if you're moving it fast, going to get a heavier and heavier and heavier one. It's about moving a light object like absolutely rapid. So as you focus on speed rather than the actual load. So once you've got that addressed, you're going to go feet under the hips. You're going to extend. So that's position 1. Position 2's up here, and then just position 3 is slamming it into the floor. Really simple and a nice fluid format. So again, 2 more. 5. So we've looked at box jump, which, just to refresh, is your jumping and landing mechanics and your expression of your jump ability, which is highly correlated to top turns, bottom turns, and above lip maneuvers.
I won't be doing any of the above.
He's very modest. And then we looked at the medicine ball, again, re-patterning of key positions, that compressed position, extended position, and then the generation of force.
Yeah.
So the third one I want to look at is early entry to actual speed. So some of you are probably thinking, well, you've moved fairly fast in those previous ones. We have, but they're actually still slower contractions.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to train the body, no matter what sport you do, but in surfing it's just as applicable, to be able to produce force in really short spaces of time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're all slower because there's no demand on really quick ground contact. So that's what the third one's going to be now. So without overcomplicating it, it's just an even speedier movement.
Right.
And the aim of it is to train the brain to be able to produce force fast. So when you come into the water and you need to be able to link combo movements together, you can do that kind of fast, effectively, efficiently.
Perfect.
So it's training the athlete here to be a better overall athlete. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to go pogo jumps.
Yeah.
So we're going to have hands on hips.
Yeah.
It's going to be ball of foot contacts. And the aim of this is to get, the ultimate aim over time is to get maximal height with minimal ground contact time. So you can see the aim of training speed.
Yeah.
To start with, it's just trying to get some speed if you're new to this. And then over time, you're starting to ingrain more height. So I'll show you a couple of versions. So the entry level version would just be something like this. So ball of foot contact, nice stiff lower body. And all I'm trying to do, 20 little reps, something like that, is just be nice and quick off the floor.
Yeah.
Will you give it a go, Simon? Have a little look?
Yeah.
So hands on hips.
I feel like I'm on the front of my feet.
So that's where we want to tapped in.
Ball of foot, right.
Nice. So what I'd say for Simon there is you still want to try and train to be faster than that.
Yeah.
So Simon, so that wasn't slow off the floor, but I would say there's more for side to be able to get even bouncier off the floor.
So basically, this could also have a good correlation for an Irish jig as well.
It could have it. You can use this out in the nightclubs past sort of, like you've surfed for the day, you've had a few beers, and then you're into the clubs.
Yeah.
So really, it's a 2-for-1 training session.
Perfect. That's what we're.
Get good at surfing and then get good in the nightclubs at dancing or Irish jigging.
Good stuff. Right.
So the aim over time is to bleed height and speed off the floor together.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that and you're starting to work towards that, then we know that your ability to produce force and power in short spaces of time is better. So I'll hopefully now try and demo a jump for height whilst keeping the speed off the floor nice and quick, essentially. So the aim for more output, out of breath, while still maintaining speed off the floor. Really demanding exercise.
Okay.
You're going to be gassed fire off this one.
I was absolutely done off those five medicine ball slams. Never mind jumping in the air.
Nice. Awesome. Gassing.
Yeah. Okay, Sam. So the next part of the workout here is strength phase.
Yeah, it's the strength. So for this example today, we're going to look at a lower body movement paired with an upper body movement.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at lower body. We're going to look at a squat, and we're going to look at a back squat today. Okay. There are many other squat variations available. If you don't know how to back squat, you've got front squat, goblet squat, all sorts of squat variations there. But for today, we're going to use the back squat.
Yeah.
We're both happy and confident with that movement, and we're going to pair that with a pull-up.
Yeah.
So an upper body movement. So S&C will generally integrate. Again, I'm not speaking in absolutes here, but generally integrate upper and lower body into the sessions together. The reason for that is the body works massively integrated in all sports and things anyway, so it's never split off between lower and upper body. So just making it a little bit more kind of athletic, shall we say.
How many reps are we looking at to complete on the squat, and then how many on the pull-up?
So if we're going strength, strength orientated, we're going to go 5 reps.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the 5 on both.
Okay.
So strength, so the squat's going to really build that lower body strength that underpins the ability to be able to flex and extend and handle the forces for any above the lip maneuvers if you're lucky enough to be doing that.
Yeah.
But if you're not, it doesn't matter. You still have to have, this is the thing, if you're not there, you're still going to have awesome lower body strength levels to be able to get from the pop-up to your feet. And then most people, especially if they surf for a couple of years, are then starting to top turn and bottom turn, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think that's generated from? The lower body. So it's completely and utterly specific to you, no matter what your level here. Get strong under the squat and your surfing will improve.
Yeah, perfect. What I haven't told you, or definitely haven't told you guys, is I did a massive leg session yesterday. So I'm not, even though we've only got 40 kilos on the bar, and this is more of a demonstration. I'm still not looking forward to getting under this bar, but.
So I'm going to jump under. I'll jump under first, and we're going to square ourselves under the middle of the bar. I'm going to just get kind of a shoulder width grip there, onto the top of the traps. Bring the feet to a shoulder width position, natural gait on the feet, nice and tall. Pull that bar down and back, and then under control, squat to the bottom. Nice powerful drive back up for 5.
So Sam, that is pretty much textbook.
Bar is now out of the way.
Yeah.
We're here. That's going to be it in the video. You know,
yeah,
magic.
Yeah.
So pull up next. So pull up in the literature world is highly correlated. A stronger pull up is a better paddler and a faster paddler. And who doesn't want to be a faster paddler and a better paddler, right? So that's why we've had it today's focus. It's direct transfer to paddle ability.
Yeah. I've got some questions, but I'm going to let you do the.
So I'm going to jump up. So the aim of this is going to be 5 reps. If you need to add additional load via a chain or a dumbbell or a weighted vest, because you require that, absolutely go for it. We want to overload this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you need to start with some band help and some resistance or some assistance, that's perfectly fine as well. Come in, the key message here is come in
at your level.
At your level. Yeah. So for the purpose of the demo, I'm just going to go with body weight. I'm going to go nice neutral grip. I'm just going to do 5, hopefully really clean repetitions for everyone at home. So I'm going to get myself nice and stable first. Full extension at the bottom.
Yeah.
Chin all the way up to the bar.
Yeah. And you're working on really pulling up as quick as you can, Sam? Is that what you're doing there? Or you just are you slowly thinking about your lats?
Yeah, absolutely. Although I'm trying to move nice and fast on the way up, I'm always trying to think about, control on the way down and pulling through the back on the way back up.
Yeah. Cool. I'm sure they're going to get a bit of a expert's form and technique procedure from you, Sam.
Much like yourself, so I'm just trying to keep it nice and controlled. Get that drive from that lead leg, not rushing the movement, feeling it through.
Yeah, I think legs. On one of the reps when we did it with the body weight, I felt myself coming forward on my ball on my foot. So I think if you feel yourself doing that at any time, it's pretty key just to reset, isn't it? And then just concentrate on making sure that your weight is equal on your foot.
Exactly. So we're going to move into the final block of the session.
Okay.
And although we said accessory and extras, we're still actually continuing with some strength work right now. We deliberated long and hard about where to go for the strength work, and I think again it's kind of coming in with where you're at. I think a good start point for people as a point of reference is probably the press up, because they correlate it to the pop up.
And you can make press ups very hard, can't you?
Well, we're going to do that today. Yeah. So you're going to need an advancement. So we're going to show on camera the advancement.
Okay.
You can start from depending who you are, you've always got the incline press up, so you can use a box and go off an incline to make the angle easier. Then you've got the floor, and then you've got like loaded or chains or vests again.
Right.
And the reason we like a press up, obviously, it's a massive correlation to the actual pop up, but just having good, strong, robust upper body is important. Again, going back to the earlier point, the shoulders get hammered.
Yeah.
You don't want to have weak body getting hammered. You'd rather a stronger, more robust body getting hammered.
Absolutely.
And again, as we talked about earlier, the body works in correlation, so the lower and the upper body are all massively integrated. So if you're thinking upper body work for surfers doesn't exist, completely wrong. It's a super important part.
Good stuff.
Right, so press up.
Do it.
Do you want to jump down side?
Yeah, sure.
So press up position.
Press up position.
So hand shoulder width. We want a nice alignment of ankle, knee, hip, shoulder. I'm going to say to Simon with the elbows, we don't want them too tight or too wide, so like arrowheads. So in between the two. So size just for now, let's just go 10 reps. So
Like this?
yeah. So he's going up as one, down as one, as you can see, kind of keeping that nice alignment of the body. Your regressions, of course, are onto like a box or an incline to basically make it easier. And then I'm going to show your progressions now. So I've had side working rep ranges of up to 10. That's absolutely fine. That's still strength work. I'm going to now load side up again, coming up next with a little 10 kilo.
Do you want me to take this off so I'm not breathing down it?
That might be,
I'm going to take the microphone off so you don't listen to me breathe.
Still pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is size of the progression here to challenge him a little bit more and take him to where he needs to be. We're going to go with a little loaded press up. So I'm just going to support 10 kilo, and I'm sure he'll smash this for 10. Two more side. 10, cool. So as you can see, that got size somewhere closer to where he needed to be for that rep range.
Yeah.
And he can probably go heavier again as well. So that's our push.
Perfect.
So this would be the accessory element to it. So we've gone in our final little movement block. We're going to do a tricep essentially. So we've done our press up, our rear lunge, and our third movement again for time purposes is going to be our little extra. We've chosen a little anterior core exercise today.
Right.
Could be numerous things, like I said earlier. It could be an attack on other key areas or weaknesses.
Yeah.
I think a core exercise is completely and utterly justified. So I've chosen a banded dead bug. Really nice movement. You can really feel it into the core.
Yeah.
That's all. The only explanation it needs. So you can just attach a band to a fixed rig, and you can want to put a decent bit of tension on this. So I think just on feels there, about here. I'm going to pull that band over the head. Already I'm getting loads of tension into here, which is awesome. And then there's two versions. So there's the straight leg version, which is still with this band, extremely challenging. And I would look for 6 each side. Nice controlled downward phase. Pause at the bottom. Nice drive back.